On our broadcast tonight, Order in the Court, a look back on the life that the United States lost last weekend and how it will affect this next one. Hearing gravity, scientists makes what is being called one of the major breakthroughs in physics, possibly confirming Einstein's theory, made nearly a century ago. And curtain call. We give you a special coverage on next week's Benefit Night Talent Show taking place in the Sumner High Performing Arts Center. Your Weekend Connection begins now.
From SBC headquarters at Sumner High School, this is SBC, Your Weekend Connection with Courtney Cassell.
Good evening, Sumner. We begin tonight in West Texas, where last Saturday, February 13th, 79-year-old Supreme Court Justice Antonin Scalia apparently died of natural causes in his sleep. It took mere hours for reports of his death to spark partisan debate over who President Obama will nominate to take his place, or if the current president should even be nominating another justice. But before we dive into what will become a fierce battle between the White House and the Senate, Rusty Smith reports on the life this country has lost and the legacy Scalia left behind.
Antonin Scalia was born on March 11, 1936, in Trenton, New Jersey. He married Maureen McCarthy and was the father of 9 children. Scalia received his Bachelor of Arts degree from Georgetown University and his Bachelor of Laws degree from Harvard Law School. 6 years after Scalia was appointed judge of the United States Court of Appeals for the District of Columbia Circuit in 1982, he was nominated for the Supreme Court by President Ronald Reagan. Confirmed only a month later with unanimous approval by the Senate, Scalia took his seat on September 26, 1982. Scalia fundamentally changed the way the Supreme Court trials are run. He was the first justice to begin asking tough questions to both sides on the case. Since then, all the judges have followed up with questions of their own. This is a lasting legacy that won't be going away anytime soon. But Scalia served during a time of sharp political divide. Despite this, he was good friends with the fellow Judge Ruth Ginsburg. On the other end of the political spectrum, their relationship showed that although two may have different political ideologies, they may still be friends. In her statement on Scalia's death, she wrote, "We were best buddies. We disagreed now and then, but we are different, we are one. Different in our interpretations of written text. One in our reverence for the Constitution." Unfortunately, as you said, Courtney, only hours after Scalia's death was reported, Senate Republicans and presidential candidates began the debate over whether President Obama should be the one to nominate Scalia's successor. Obama has announced that he will be nominating a judge before he leaves office. Courtney.
Thank you, Rusty. We now move to Livingston, Louisiana, and even Hanford, Washington State, the site of 2 gravitational wave observatories that in September of last year recorded what scientists are now very sure were gravitational waves. With more on what these waves are and how they came to be recorded, we hear from Neil Knight.
Over 100 years ago, Albert Einstein came up with his theory of general relativity. He predicted that the acceleration of massive objects caused wrinkles in the fabric of space and time, emitting gravitational waves. But unlike light waves, gravitational waves could not be seen. But the Laser Interferometer Gravitational Wave Observatory, known as LIGO, claims it has a way to hear them. The most massive objects known to the human race are black holes, and the gravitational waves created by the collision of 2 black holes are gargantuan. But after traveling at the speed of light for 1 billion years, the tsunami dies to a ripple. Recorded in the form of a note, the LIGO observatories in Louisiana and Washington detected the gravitational ripple on September 14, 2015, but the scientists have only confirmed their findings last week. Despite these findings, the search for gravitational waves is not over. The Laser Interferometer Space Antenna, known as LISA, proposed by the European Space Agency, would measure gravitational waves from outer space. This is Neil Knight from SBC News.
Thank you, Neil. And now, to bring us back into our very own town of Sumner, is this week's weather analysis, Ben Morwick.
Thank you, Courtney. Not much rain this coming week, but let's first look at our weekend weather. Saturday, partly cloudy skies. Sunday, rain. That is where we get our little bit of rain for the week. Temperatures for the weekend are lower 50s to upper 40s, and that temperature will increase to lower 60s as the week progresses. No rain Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. However, we do have a slight chance of some showers on Friday. Courtney.
Thank you, Ben. The annual Benefit Night Talent Show returns to the Sumner Performing Arts Center, the PAC, once again. Regarded as one of the best shows of the year, Sayfullah Penick takes us inside the PAC for a special report on the making of the show and this year's beneficiary.
Benefit Night is an annual tradition here at Sumner in which we fundraise money for a community member going through some hardships through a 2-night talent show. This will be Sumner High's 10th annual event. Last year's beneficiary was Athletic Director Bob Jones of Auburn High. The fundraiser was a huge success at over $30,000. This year's beneficiary is Sumner High's very own Joyce Nelson, who has been diagnosed with breast cancer. She is an extremely kind and amazing individual who helps out with tiny sparks here at Sumner High. Benefit Night will be held next Thursday and Friday, the 25th and 26th at 7 p.m. Tickets will be $8 per person per night. There will also be a lunch March 6th at 6 p.m. for $20 per person. Hope to see you there.
Thank you, Sayfullah. And that will do it for us this evening. We, of course, hope that you will join us again next week. Until then, have a fun and safe weekend. With that, I am Courtney Cassell, and have a great night.